Cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the thing which we were discussing is about when can we use these parent-child relationships to pursue an expand. That's what the actual concept. So when we are going to use that particular one means in the real world, whenever you are working on an applications, if you get any kind of a tabular format information, like in the application, the users will be displayed in this kind of a tabular format. See here in this kind of a tabular format. So edit is the locator, whatever we have. So edit is an object which is common for all the 10 different users, whichever it is displaying. But the only thing is, I want to create a user or I want to edit a user specific to this chatter expert or Kumar Surendra or something else basically. I want to click on a specific user edit. In such situations, we will be using this parent child following sibling depending on the HTML how they have implemented. We will be using any one of those expert techniques to handle this operation pile. Okay, am I clear for you, pile, when exactly we will be using that, or any questions on this?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep. I
cool.
get it.
Damn the real. So this is a simple thing, and let me switch on to the regular topic now, so that we can continue with it. Just a second. One second, and then 1 second. Batch 122. So the last script of what we discussed out over there is the handling of a tooltip message. If at all any tooltip message is there on a web page, how we are going to handle that tooltip message we discussed in the previous session. Now, today what I want to do now means I'll be picking one more scenario, that is how to handle a mouse over operation. Okay, how to handle mouse over operation. Okay, so where exactly we can find this functionality? Let me go to amarides.com. So I'm just navigating to Amarides official website screen. See here, this is the screen where in which what I'm doing means whenever I'm clicking on a manage, that's the first option, the submenu is getting displayed, and from the submenu I can mouse over on a before you fly so that the respective information inside the before you fly will display. Even I can mouse over on a baggage, the respective information will display. I can mouse over on a visa and a passport, even the respective information will display. So the bottom line out over here is we need to perform a mouse over operation on any one of these options, then only the respective options would be populated. So your scenario is click on a manage and mouse over on a before you fly and verify whether these options are populating or not. Okay, so I'm copying the existing script and I'm creating a new script on top of it. And here I'm deleting all unnecessary commands which I don't want. I deleted almost everything. So if you observe, the common information that I have kept here is opening the browser and opening the application and then terminating the browser. Now, as we change it the URL, let us update the test script with the latest URL. So here I'm updating my test script with the URL. And now this is an object. First of all, I want to perform a click operation. So right click on a manage inspect. So whenever we did an inspect, it's starting with a diagram as a and data ID is equal to header navigation section. By looking into the data ID, I can understand that maybe this is a generic ID property which would be common for the entire header. There is a no specific locator for this manage in this ID. Next, go to the data underscore link. It has a manage. So whatever the text it is displaying out over there on the desired object, that text is in the data underscore link. I guess I can use this data underscore link for an expand. Let us study few more locators. So there is a class name, and even this class name, see here, if you contain mega links top level, definitely this class would be common for multiple objects. So I can't prefer this class name as well. Among all those things, data underscore a link is the one which is manageable. So slash slash, what is the tag name? A open braces at the rate data underscore a link equal to. I just specified that slash slash a open braces at the rate data link is equal to manage. I have specified that. And whenever you have identified that, you can find only one object with that particular info, right? We can find one object with that particular information. I'm pretty much good with that. Copy this XPath. In order to get those mouse over options, I need to perform a click operation on that. So go to your scripts, driver dot find element by XPath dot click. So that's a quite common manual step that I have done. After performing a click operation, I need to mouse over on a before you fly. Right click on a before you fly inspect, and even the before you fly is also having a data underscore link, which is manage a column before you fly. Copy this text and update the XPath, and respect to object is a highlighting. Now what I'm doing means I'm storing this object information web element obj is equal to driver dot find element by XPath. I have identified that particular object and I stored it here in this particular web element obj. That's fine. So here, the next point is how can I perform a mouse over operation in a WebDriver program? How exactly we can perform this operation? So the simple point how we can do that particular activity is using actions class in WebDriver. So one simple example I want to tell you here, guys. Say a simple point out over here is assume that I purchased a new car. This is a simple example, guys. Let me give you this example. Okay. And so here, in order to enhance look and feel of my car, I can go to a store where they can add some they can add some kind of audio systems, explicitly audio system to my car, and even some kind of interiors and all those things. They can do some kind of a work for my car, right? So here the point is, assume that you wanna do something related to a car engine. Definitely there would be a mechanic who will be doing that activity, right? For suppose if you want to enhance the audio system in your car, definitely there are separate set of people who can do that. See, a simple point is, can we install our home audio system into a car? It's not at all possible, right? Definitely, there should be a separate technicians who will be doing this activity, right? Specific to a car. And assume that you wanna do some repair to your tires, vehicle tires, you want to do a repair, and again there will be a different set of persons. So here if you clearly observe, Depending on an operation, whatever you want to perform, you need to approach a different sets of people to perform that activity. Though my car is a single one, right? I can consider, though my car is a single entity, but in order to get repairs, I need to approach multiple people for different things. Right. For engine repair, I need to go to a service center. For tire repair, I need to go to a different service center. For audio system repair, I need to go to a different technician. So we do have all the features, but the persons are changing. Depending on our need, you will be using any one of the person. So usually, okay, usually before purchasing the car or after purchasing the car, you do have certain information with you. Like assume that whenever your car is not starting, then immediately you will call a mechanic. You don't call a person who will repair your audio system, right? It's your responsibility to identify a right person and give a ring to him to solve your issue, right? So the similar way here, Selenium WebDriver is the one which has multiple subclasses inside that, which will implement different sets of functionalities for us. Like if you want to select a drop down, go with a selection class. If you want to handle any kind of mouse over, drag and drop, all these activities, go to actions class. So it means Selenium itself is giving the different classes for us to perform different activities. As an automation tester, it's your responsibility. If you want to perform a drop down, which object I need to create? If I want to select select a mouse over operation, which activity I have to use? It's your responsibility to understand these commands and to use any one of these commands. Okay, so we have already discussed about a select class in the previous sessions to handle a drop down. Now we need to discuss about actions classes to perform this activity, which is a mouse over. So the bottom line with respect to the example here is how we have a n number of people for different sets of repairs. The similar way, Selenium is also having a different sets of classes as per our need. You need to create an object to the select desired classes. Earlier, our requirement is to select a value from a drop-down. I used a select a class. This time, I want to explicitly perform a mouse over operation. Hence, I am creating an object to an actions class. Okay, good. Done the deal. So, guys, am I clear for you till now? Arul, Subha, Payal, Padmaja, and others. Is this point clear for you guys, or do you have any questions for me on this? Please let me know in a chat window if you have any questions. Then, okay, we can unmute yourself. Okay. Payal Arul, am I clear for you? Sarita, Rahul. Sh- Okay, good. Done the deal. So this is the thing. So here I'm using okay, so here we need to use an actions class. Actions A is equal to new actions of driver. We just created an object to the actions class and let us import these actions class from Selenium. It's good we have imported this one. And now a dot. So whenever we use a dot, the list of actions class commands are being populated for us. How many actions class commands are there? All those actions class commands are being populated for us. Among all these things, I need to perform a mouse over operation. Let's drill down and then let us see which command we can use. Okay, let's drill down and let us see which command we have to use. See here, I'm just scrolling down a bit. So build, click, click, click and hold, context click, double click, drag and drop equals. Okay, drag and drop equals, and then get class hash down, key up, move to element. Move to element is a command which we are using in order to move to a particular element. Okay, in order to move to a particular element. Okay, so in order to perform a mouse over operation, we can use this move to element command. Move to element. Which element you want to move? So basically, I have already created my object for that. Copy that and specify here. A dot move to an element. And now, whenever we are using an actions class in a WebDriver, we need to use the two commands, which is of a mandatory things I can say. One is a build, which will build multiple actions into one single action. Okay, if there are a move and is an action and to an object is a particular action, there are two different actions here. In order to build multiple actions into a single action, actions class use a build command, whereas a perform is a command which will perform that operation on the desired object. Okay, which will perform the operation on the desired object. So whenever you are using an actions class, it's mandatory for us to use this particular thing. Okay, okay, cool. So the next point here is go and use a build and a perform. I just used this move to build and as well as a perform. Now, when I run my script as a Java application, if you can check it out now, it will be performing the desired operations on a browser. Let us see that. So here it clicked and it performed a mouse over operation on that. That's it. It performed a mouse over operation on that. Okay, cool. Done the deal. Okay, cool. Am I clear for you all guys till now, or do you have any questions? Okay, do you have any questions for me on this topic? Guys, do let me know in a chat window if you have any questions. Is this point clear for you? Arul, Subha, Payal, Rahul, Kishore, Padmaja, everyone. Am I clear for you all, or any questions for me with respect to this topic? Okay, cool. Good enough. Considering, so I kept you all on a mute. So if you have any questions, please ping me in a chat window. Then I'll give you an option to unmute yourself. Have a query. 1 second, Sarita. Just give me a second. Yeah, Sarita, you can unmute yourself from your end.
Surinder, my question is uh, the same mouse over command we are using there with the click. Later, why are we storing that one in a object and later performing the action? I'm just confused on that.
See, the simple thing is the first click, whatever I have given. Observe that functionality manually, first of all, before jumping onto an automation. See, are you able to see that mouse over functionality like before you fly and all those things? Were you able to see that in this screen now? Whenever you open that application, it's not
Because,
displaying.
yeah, those are the subtabs in the main tabs,
Subtabs
right?
in the main tab. So first of all, in order to display the subtabs, first of all, you need to click the main tab, then only the subtab will display. See here, I clicked on a main tab, then the sub tabs got a displayed, and then only I can perform a mouse over operation on a sub tab. So if you observe the command also, this click is performing an operation on a main tab. We are just performing a click operation on a main tab that will simply click on a main tab, then the options will be populated. Among all those options, whichever the option I want to click, I'm storing inside a web element, Sarita. Okay,
Okay.
so until and unless you perform a click operation on that, you don't find this option, right? It's a mandatory thing to add this a click. That's the reason I just added that. So here, if you observe, okay, if we observe here, basically what's happening means whatever the activity we are doing manually, the same activity we are performing here as well. Okay, the same activity we are performing here as well. The only thing is we are just writing down the script to perform that activity, but more or less we need to do the similar steps here manually. If I perform a click and mouse over, the same way, see here, this is performing a click operation, and this command will do a mouse over operation. That's it. I can directly pass my object information to a move to element, which will be bit confusing. That's the reason I stored it in a web element and I'm using that object information in the actions class.
Okay.
Okay, Sarita?
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Done the deal. Done up to here. Cool. And let me check it out once. What multiple actions here? Subha, could you please elaborate your question? I just gave you an option to unmute yourself. Yeah, kindly unmute yourself and let me know your question.
Surinder, did you remember before we went for the create in Salesforce? If
Hmm.
you hit the create, the user will come.
Uh-huh.
Here also we are mouse overing that. What's the difference between that action and this?
Okay, so that particular option and this option, this if you clearly observe, this is a functionality which it's being, see here basically. Okay, let me show you here. So I'm clicking on a manager here. In order to see the options present in a before you fly, you have to do a mouse over, then only the before you fly options are displaying here. If you want to see the baggage option information, you have to do a mouse over on a baggage, then only the baggage information would be displayed there. Whereas earlier in that Salesforce, what it will happen means whenever you click on a create, how the manage is selecting by default and the options are displayed by default, that options got a displayed for you. Whereas in this case, the before you fly baggage and view and a passport options are not displaying directly for you until and unless you perform a mouse over operation. That's a different functionality they have implemented where they use it to just perform a click operation. Whereas here, the application was designed in such a way that when you perform a mouse over on my option, then only all the options will be displayed. See, the simple thing is until and unless I mouse over on a before you fly, if you click on guide to dangerous goods, it won't click on that. The reason is that you are in a manage. See here, you are inside a manage. You are trying to click an option which is not visible for you. Your Selenium can't click on that. Whereas in that a Salesforce application, whenever you click on a create, all the six options were displaying directly. You can perform a pick operation of any one of those things. But this is not the case. Until and unless you mouse over, you can't perform this operation. Understood?
Okay. Then what is the multiple action you told me for a build?
So whenever you are using an actions class, it's a mandatory to use this build and a perform. See the simple thing in the current situation, you are using a move to element, and here if you observe this a dot, see here basically double click, context click, context click, drag and drop. Drag is one action, drop is another action. Drag and drop by. Drag is one action, drop by is another action. Whenever you are using an actions class, definitely you will be interacting with the one or more actions. That's the reason we are using a build and as well as a perform as a mandatory things by. So
Okay.
Okay, so whereas in a normal situations, you are going to use just a click command, sun keys command, or some other command. Directly, we are going to use a one set of a command, whereas here we are using a multiple sets of commands. That's the difference. That's it.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Done the deal. And then, yeah, Arul, go ahead.
Surinder,
Yes,
actually, in the real time, we need to check all the elements, right? That means the manage and what is that visa and
of
thing.
course, you have to
That.
do that. It
So for
depends on the scenario, whatever you are automating. For
okay,
suppose if the developer has developed only the functionality for manage, then you no need to go with all the options. Only the manage will be handled. Okay,
okay.
so
If
it's up to the user story, whatever you are automating.
okay, if I want to do the other three, right? I need to write the same code again, or
Yes,
we don't have.
basically, you no need to create an object to the actions class. Directly, you can use this command and you can give it a try to select the other values as well.
Okay.
You have already created one instance, right? You can use that particular instance to handle that activity.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good enough.
That mean I need to create the next object like web element dot obj one,
Yes, web
and then
element
I need
dot
to.
obj1, and then you need to use a dot move to element of obj1. You have to give there.
Okay, okay,
Okay,
thank
good. Done the deal. So this is a simple point, guys. And then what you have to do is you have to do a practice on these scenarios. And one more thing here is, so whenever we are executing our test scripts, if we notice here, always my test script is launching in a minimized mode. This is not a full and the maximized browser. This is just a minimized mode of my browser. So using a WebDriver program, I need to maximize my browser instance. Okay, using a WebDriver program, I need to maximize my browser instance. How exactly I can maximize my browser instance using a WebDriver program is my next concept. On top of this one, so here, as soon as you created an object to the driver dot let us manage the browser. Hence, I use a manage driver dot manage dot. So here I want to use a window which refers to the browser window dot maximize. See here on the browser, go to the manage. The window will be applicable on the browser itself, and a maximize is a command which is used to maximize that particular browser instance. Driver.manage.window maximize is a command which we are using in order to maximize the browser. Now, when I run my test script as a Java application, it's getting executed and it should maximize the browser. That's it. It maximized the browser and it performed the operations. Okay. Am I clear for you guys? Okay. Good. Done the deal. Done up to here. Okay, cool. So this is a simple thing how you need to maximize your browser instance. Cool. So let's do one thing, guys. Let us rejoin the session, and then we will discuss about the assignments which you have to do from your end. For a practical part. Okay, let us rejoin the class. Okay, and then we will discuss about an assignment, not a topic today. The remaining few minutes we will be discussing about an assignment itself. Okay, so kindly rejoin the class. We'll discuss about that stuff, guys. Thank you.